Hi everyone, Kim France here to talk about wind power and everything we learned in this class. The students were given a paper plate and a ping pong ball and told to move the ball and get it to stop in the blue square, but they weren't allowed to ever touch the ball. No other instructions were given and the students were allowed to explore the idea of how to get to this point. I'm going to show you this video of what happened when we first got started. So they started by blowing on the ball. One of the girls said, let's blow on it, and that's what they started to do. Please don't mind the slime table in the back. My kids do slime every day. There's some guided directions. So Maddie then started to think, oh, we could create wind instead of blowing on it. And that was where they got to this point. They took a lot of time to trial and error. They were doing it all in different directions. They were doing it at the same time. It took a long time. It took actually about 15 to 20 minutes until they kind of figured out like it worked better with one person to do one way. And then I'll show you the end video of how they got to the end. This is more guided direction. And then they were super excited. Once they completed the task, this would lead into questions about how could wind help us with energy and how could and allow them to go research more about wind and wind power. And I included on the worksheet a website for them to go to and to check out. When we look at the inquiry continuum, I wanted to I kind of find it falling on teacher guided, but then when they were actually doing the task, I did give them more questions. When I would do this in a class, I wouldn't actually give them that many questions, leading them into the right answer, but for purpose of time, I kind of did a little quicker. But learning guided and process of formulating explanations from the evidence, and then, so that was more learner, self-directed, and then there was some closer to the teacher guided. I wanted to bring this back, this image back because of the community. I feel like if the girls weren't good friends and they weren't comfortable working with each other, they may not have come to the conclusion together because they were having trouble in the beginning doing their own thing, and then eventually they talked about how they could work together. For this task, I feel like it's very science oriented. There wasn't any technology that came into play, and there really wasn't any math. It can lead into more, like they can go into technology and looking at turbines and all those different things. But for this specific one, it was really more single discipline reference. The inquiry level on this, I feel, falls between a 2 and a 3. They were given the question, but they were not given the methods, and they really weren't given the solution. They know they had to get it into the box, but that's about all they really knew. And so they had to figure out how to do that. Thanks a lot. Hope you enjoyed.